Hey there traders, welcome back for episode number 83 from the StockBandit.tv. I'm always glad that you're able to make it. Hope your weekend's been a great one and hope you're getting ready for another week of trading because it could prove to be an exciting one. Now last week we started off with a couple of days to the downside. We undercut the June lows in the major averages, which of course confirms lower highs on these daily charts. So what that does is give us a, kind of a little bit of a short-term possible change of direction taking place here with more to come possibly. Now, emphasizing the word possible because of course anything can happen in this market. But what we did last week again, down on Monday and Tuesday, we attempted to bounce a little bit on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but no upside was really seen. We made no meaningful headway on that front, and instead it looks like this market is just kind of paused after this pretty sizable move down to start the month of July. Okay, also take a look at all this light volume. We've had one day that was above average volume. That was Wednesday of this past week, which was of course, if I zoom in, that was a pullback low where we kind of reversed from and then ultimately finished the day about flat. If you can see, these hash marks mark the close for each bar. So on Wednesday we finished off the day's low, but we really essentially just started a very minor short-term bounce so far that has only played out a small amount. So at this point, I think in the next few days, if we don't see a continued advance here, and especially an assault at this 1785 level, that's a very important zone for the NASDAQ. If we don't make a push back up toward that very soon, I think traders may by and large get a little bit impatient and then of course sell first and ask questions later. That's kind of how the market operates. And we also have technically this sharp move down and then a very small rising channel that's starting to emerge, which of course is an inverted flag pattern or a bear flag pattern, and those are oftentimes resolved to the downside. So what I'm looking at here for the NASDAQ, last week's low 1727, that's kind of the line in the sand there, or of course 1785 to the upside. Now for the S&P 500, things are a little simpler here. 875 is the level that this index continues to flirt with day after day, has yet to close underneath that level, although it has crossed it a few times intraday. So on a closing basis, if we move down through 875, I think this index gathers some momentum once again heading south. And on intraday basis, last week's low at 869 is a level to watch right there. For the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we have already closed under this 8200 level. Since we've closed beneath it, we have yet to reclaim it, meaning we've bounced slightly above it intraday last week on Wednesday and Thursday, but have yet to finish back above that level. So now we've given up that zone. We're seeing this index move sideways, and if it especially undercuts last week's low at 8,087, we could again see further downside, and that may ultimately prove to be a projection of the height of this channel right here, which is of course about 400 points. So we could head back down to this 7,800 area right there, and but again, we're going to have to break last week's low at 8,087 first. But as always, taking a look at the indices before your trading week begins is a great way to just kind of get a good feel for what's taking place out there, because a lot of individual stocks have been confirming lower highs and that they have undercut their June lows on the daily charts, and it's no surprise given that the indices are doing that as well. Many stocks are going to take their cues from the price action that we see in the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow, so it always pays us to take note of important levels there. All right, hope your trading week gets off to a great start. Thank you as always for joining me for this episode. I will be back soon with more videos, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.